Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one, I wanted to talk about the Rick and Michonne key art, or at least I'm going to give like some thoughts on that and then talk about when the next teaser could come for the Rick and Michonne show, or I guess the ones who live. Mainly, actually, I wanted to focus on some comments that were made by Robert Kirkman regarding Rick Grimes on the show, and he said that he wanted to kill off Rick Grimes early on the show. So yeah, I want to give some thoughts on that. So before going further, make sure to hit subscribe if you want to get all my Walking Dead content like this all year long. The Walking Dead franchise is not going anywhere for a very long time at this point. For the foreseeable future, it seems like it's going to be around for at least the next 4 or 5 years for sure. You know, at that point, we'll have to see what's happening with all the characters and whatnot, but it seems like for the next 4 years, maybe 5 years, the zombie genre is very much going to be alive here. So I wanted to mention that, and I also wanted to mention the fact that I actually do, or am planning to do, a Twitch stream later on today. So definitely make sure to go follow me on Twitch. I might be playing the Walking Dead games. Like, I'm still just sort of trying to figure out my schedule for that, because I do have camping this weekend. Me, Budge, John, and MOVIEidol, we're all going to be camping this weekend, likely going to be filming some stuff or whatever, and we'll probably share that on the podcast. And yeah, so I leave Friday. I'm going to have videos. Don't worry, I'll have some videos scheduled for the weekend, and then I'll be back Sunday and ready to resume stuff for Monday and whatnot. But I'll have to figure out some sort of schedule, because I definitely want to be able to play that game when I don't have the kids, which is, I mean, it's very, very rare, but I can definitely make it work. I can try to figure out a schedule with that. But I do want to start off with The Walking Dead Season 1, and I think I'm going to be playing them in order of release. So I'll start off with that, and then we'll just, whenever that spinoff from Michonne comes out, I'll go into that. And then if you're interested in that and just seeing other, streams of me playing games and whatnot, then definitely go make sure to go follow me on Twitch. My channel name is Appetite for the Dead. The link for that is in the description. But let's talk about the key art here. So I think this key art, honestly, is just absolutely just brilliant. I mean, like, we saw some of this obviously at Comic-Con, but it was like on the window, so we never got an actual like representation of it, right? Like a real representation of what this looks like here. But we have it here, and it just looks absolutely just incredible. You know, like the red tone there and everything that they have going with the show works really, really well. I think that this right here, obviously, it has to be a promotional shot. I mean, maybe it's a shot from the show. I don't think so, though. Like, this to me actually more looks like promotional shots, and so they're actually probably together here, and they're just like, yeah, filming some stuff separately, or maybe they weren't together and they just sort of edited them together. But regardless, like, it's kind of cool to see Rick and Michonne in general being promoted as like being together, and they're just embracing the fact that Rick Grimes is a part of this show. Like, I was always kind of worried about that in terms of like marketing, and they're still doing it. But they're doing it in a clever way. Like, I was so worried that they weren't really going to give us a lot with Rick Grimes and just kind of keep him just like silent and like more of a mystery, right? And they're still kind of doing that. Like, they are focusing a little bit more on Michonne, because obviously the story is she's trying to find him, and so they do want to keep a little bit of a mystery there as to just where's Rick, and they want to hold that back as much as they can, and then just give us little things here and there, right? That's why the teaser, you had Rick at the end, and they just sort of like built up that reveal of like the legend of Rick Grimes kind of thing, right? So I mean, yeah, just really incredible shot here. Absolutely amazing. I cannot wait. In terms of when we're going to get our next teaser, I think it's likely going to be during Daryl Dixon. So we're probably going to have to wait another month and a half, I would say. There could be something else that drops. I doubt it. I think with Daryl Dixon, they're likely going to be promoting this show. Like, we're going to get a bunch of teasers for Rick and Michonne, definitely during September, October, November. There's going to be some stuff that does come out there. I mean, I don't know if they promote it during Daryl Dixon or if they're going to promote it during Fear the Walking Dead. Because Fear the Walking Dead, that's the thing. As non-exciting as that is, like, it's actually kind of exciting because it's the last 6 episodes. So I do think people are going to tune in. People are going to watch because they want to see that show end, right? And usually, at least for us, like, we'll watch it and maybe we'll criticize this and that, but we more just care about like where the story is going and all that. These are the last 6 episodes, and so in that sense, it's going to be kind of exciting to see just how it plays out and like how the Clark family story ends, how all those characters' story end, because like we might not see some of those characters ever again, right? So it'll be kind of cool to see just how that works. If there's some spin-off set up there as well, and they might do the same type of promotion for Rick and Michonne that they did with Daryl Dixon. So we might be getting these short little like 10 to 20 second teasers, after every episode. So we're just going to have to find out, obviously, but I do think we're likely going to be getting that here, and there's going to be a lot of hype. I do think we're going to get an official trailer for this show in November. I think the finale of Fear the Walking Dead is going to show us like an official trailer for this show, with the release date being sometime in early 2024, because there's no way they're saving this show for the fall of 2024. I mean, maybe they could. That would just be so long though. Like, you're really at that point just sitting on that content for a very long time. Like, I do wonder how much of this show is already edited. Like, they must have the first episode down already. Like, they have to. Like, they've been done filming for 3 months now. They may even be done the second episodes in terms of like editing and all that. I mean, obviously there's probably a lot of rough cuts and stuff that they probably have done generally of like all 6 episodes maybe, but I'm sure they're putting a lot of work into this, and it's really going to take probably, I mean, the rest of the year, even into early next year, just working on those 6 episodes to make them so perfect, right? Because there's a lot of music you got to add. Like, you really do want to add so much just like newness and like a refreshing feel to it. You want to make it so epic and like obviously like peak Walking Dead, right? Like, I think there's a reason why this show was called the Walking Dead Summit. So we'll have to wait and see. But let's talk about what Robert Kirkman had to say here. So I got this actually from EW, so I will leave a link down below to the actual article here. But Robert Kirkman actually said that, you know, at least when he was early on in you know, writing The Walking Dead, or at least on the show, he wanted to like kill off Rick Grimes, and it seemed like that was something that he just wanted. So it's kind of interesting to think, like, if it was up to him, that's probably what he would have wanted, right? Like, he likely would have wanted Rick Grimes to die very early on, and I guess I can see it from his perspective, because for him, it's one of those things where the show, I think, just, I mean, obviously it likely mattered a lot to him. I'm not saying it didn't matter at all to him. It mattered, I'm sure, a lot to him, but like, he already sort of did these stories already, right? Like, he probably wanted to see something just a little different, right? Just something like do this change, and let's see where we can go with this. Like, sort of make it like an alternate universe kind of thing, right? Like, I could kind of see that from that perspective. But obviously, if you're AMC and you're the writers there, you're like, no, we really want to tell the story here and make this as accurate as possible, because what you did worked, and if we do this, it might not work for us, right? Like, you have the comic, you have all of that, we just have this kind of thing, right? So I do kind of get it. I mean, obviously, story-wise, it would be a lot to kill off Rick Grimes. I mean, could you imagine if they actually killed off Rick Grimes? Like, I don't know, like, when would they have killed him off? Season 1, 2, 3, 4, or something like that? Let's see. I mean, maybe he takes Shane's death. Like, that's possible. I can't even imagine the show without Rick Grimes or Andrew Lincoln. Like, there's just, Andrew Lincoln really has made The Walking Dead. Like, even to this day, like, he's been on the show for a very long time now, and he's still involved heavily. Like, he is the face of this franchise still, and it's just kind of, it's hilarious to think about, right? Like, he's just that big of a character. I think we can all kind of agree on that. Like, I'm not trying to like demean the other characters. Obviously, they're all very big characters, right? It's just Rick, for some reason, he's just, I really think it's because he started the show. Like, if you just really think about that first episode, the first episode of The Walking Dead, of just what this franchise or what this show was going to be about, focused on this character named Rick Grimes. And that was just originally what the story was right from the beginning. So he is just, yeah, like, obviously the Grimes family is just obviously very important to the franchise, and it's something that you do have to keep around for a while, and I imagine they will. And so, yeah, killing him off early on definitely would have been, in my opinion, a very big mistake. So thankfully he's still around. Thankfully they never killed him off in season 9, and he's still around. I also just think in general, he's never gonna really die. I don't think, like, even in this show, I don't think they're gonna kill him off. I just think that if you keep Rick Grimes around for as long as you can, there's always that possibility of his return. There's always going to be questions of it. There's always going to be fans wanting it. And even if it's 30 years from now and people are still talking about The Walking Dead, I think, you know, at that point they might just say like, well, what if you just do like this original thing and you bring him back, but now he's just like Rick in his 70s or whatever at that point, right? So yeah, he's a very big character. The one thing that I was actually going to talk about is, it's a little interesting that Robert Kirkman isn't really necessarily that involved with The Walking Dead anymore. He's just kind of quietly faded away. And I know that there's been some stuff happening with AMC and him, so maybe that's why he's just not necessarily involved anymore. But it is just kind of sad, because I really liked his involvement in like Comic-Con and like promotion stuff for The Walking Dead. He was really heavily involved quite a bit, and now he's just kind of faded away. And it's unfortunate, definitely, you know, but I guess that's just sort of what it is. Like, in general, I will say I do miss the Walking Dead comics. I really miss the Walking Dead comics. Like the deluxe comics right now are cool. I actually do have to go pick my comics up actually, because I mean I haven't went and picked them up really all year actually. The last time I went was probably last November, so I have a lot of comics that I have to go and get. But I just want brand new stories. I really do. I love this world so much, and I hope at some point Robert Kirkman does it again. But I mean, obviously he kept that franchise going for a very long time, right? Like the Walking Dead comics went on for a very long time. So like to ask him to do that again obviously is so much, right? It's a lot to do that again. So I get it. Like I do get sort of, you know, why he ended it and all that, and maybe his sort of feelings of like, if I go back to it right now, it might be a lot. So I do think we're gonna get stories again, but it's probably just gonna be like smaller, shorter stories, right? And I think that's fine too, obviously. Like I do think that's fine. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. I just wanted to kind of bring this up and talk about this because I thought it was kind of funny. I thought it was interesting. But yeah, post all your thoughts down below. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.